Beloved learners, my name is Mr. Paul Chilola once again, your science teacher on this platform. This is Black Slides Online Secondary School. Welcome to the platform. We continue covering Form 3 mathematics topics, and we are still looking at a topic called quadratic expressions, subtopic quadratic equations. In case you have just joined us on our YouTube platform, which is called Black Slides Online Secondary School, consider subscribing to the channel so that every time we upload new material, you are notified on time. Or what you want is to join us in our main classroom, simply send us a message to this number here, which I'll be glad to give you the steps on how you can join our classroom. Remember that we don't teach on WhatsApp. We teach using our platform, which is called Black Slides Online Secondary School. That's where we deliver all our lessons. So in case that's what you'd like to do to join us there, just to send us a message expressing your interest to join, and then we'll advise you regarding the fees that you have to pay per month or per term, depending on which payment plan you have chosen. So welcome once again. Our holiday lessons are currently in progress. Remember that we opened our classes for the August-September, for the July, August-September holiday on the 1st July. That's when our lessons started. If you are planning to enroll into our Form 3 class, don't hesitate. This is the time. Don't waste time. Simply send us a message to the numbers that have been shared here. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Invite your friends wherever they are. This is the place where you learn the sciences: physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, and agriculture. So without wasting your precious time, allow me to introduce to you the lesson of the day, which is quadratic equations. Recall that from our previous units, by now we should know that a quadratic expression in x is an expression of the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where x is the variable and a, b, c are constants such that a is not 0. Last time we mentioned that if a is 0, then the expression is going to reduce to just a linear equation or expression. So examples of quadratic expressions include x squared plus 5x plus 6, or x squared plus bx, or even x squared itself. So these are called quadratic expressions. Welcome learners. A quadratic equation is any equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Once again, a must never be equal to 0, because if a is 0, it means that the whole expression will just collapse to a linear expression or linear equation. So a must be a non-zero number. So quadratic equations may have one or no real solutions or 0 real solutions. So it's possible for a quadratic equation to have only one value, the value of the unknown to just be 1, 2, 0. So we are saying quadratic equations may have 2, 1, or 0 real solutions. Welcome, learners. So we are going to dwell on quadratic equations in this lesson. Equations of the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where x is a variable and the a, b, and c are constants, such that a should never be equal to 0. The fear of having a equal to 0 is that it's going to collapse the whole expression to just a linear function. Welcome, learners. So, before we delve into quadratic equations, I want to bring you back to factorization, which we looked at in one of the lessons before now. So to factorize means to find the factors of an expression, given expression. So to factorize x squared plus 5x plus 6, you first of all look for two numbers whose sum is going to be equal to the coefficient of x in the middle here, and whose product is the constant 6 in this case. So we are saying look for two numbers which, when you add them up, they'll give you a 5, and when you multiply them out, you get a 6. So what do you think these numbers are? Alright, so without much thinking, the numbers are 3 and 2, because when you add 3 and 2, you get a 5. And when you multiply 3 by 2, you get a 6. So this expression can now be written as the product of two brackets. These are called factors. So x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 3. So these are called factors. When you have done this, you are said to have factorized this expression. So these are the factors of the expression x squared plus 5x plus 6. Welcome, learners. It is important for us to be able to factorize expressions, quadratic expressions, because we shall need this method of factorization to solve quadratic equations. So in this lesson, we are going to explore solving quadratic equations using factorization method. So we shall meet expressions of this nature quite a lot. Welcome, learners. My name is Mr. Pochilola. In case you have just joined our platform, especially here on YouTube, consider subscribing to the channel so that every time we upload new material, you are notified on time. Let's look at another expression that requires us to factorize. I need to emphasize that we are spending time looking at factorization because factorization is one of the methods of solving quadratic equations. 3x squared plus 13x plus 4. Alright, so you look for numbers, two numbers whose sum is 13, this one the middle term, here the coefficient of x, and whose product is 12. Where are we getting the 12 from? 12 is 3 times 4, it's 12. Okay, so we need to look for numbers which, when you add them up, will give you a 13, and which, when you multiply out, you get 12. The 12 is obtained by multiplying 3 by 4. So these numbers are 12 and 1. If you add 12 to 1, you get 13. If you multiply 12 to 1 by 1, so you must get a 12. So the numbers are 12 and 1. So we substitute these back into the expression. This expression, you can write 3x squared plus 13x plus 4 as 3x squared plus 12x plus x plus 4, because 12x plus 4, 12x plus x is 13x, the midterm there. Now, if you look at this expression now, which is just as good as the one we were given before, they are the same. 3x squared plus 12x plus x plus 4 is just the same as 3x squared plus 13x plus 4, because the 12x plus x is 13x, which is just the same. But now here we've written the expression so that we can group these terms in pairs. We can group these terms in pairs. So factorizing in pairs, what this means is that we can rewrite the expression in terms of brackets. 3x squared can be paired up with 12x, and the x can be paired up with 4. So we have paired them up. All this we did in order for us to be able to pair these terms so that we can factorize them easily. So if you look at 3x squared plus 12x, 3x is common. 3x can go into 3x squared and 12x. So we can push that out. It will give us 3x open brackets, x plus 4 close brackets. Take note of that. In x plus 4, which is another pair, there's no conceivable number that is common, but you can see that 1 can go into both x and 4. 1 can go into x times. 1 can go into 4 times. So we push the 1 out. So our expression now is going to be 3x open brackets, x plus 4 close brackets, plus 1 multiplied by x plus 4 close brackets. Therefore, the factors of the given expression are going to be x plus 1 and 3x plus 1. So these are the factors. In case you have missed a point here, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. Or better still, just send us a text message on WhatsApp in case you need extra support. We'll be glad to come back to you. Welcome, learners. Right, now let's look at solving quadratic equations. Suppose you are given an expression which is already factorized, and you are asked to solve for x. Solve this expression for x. So we have x plus 4 multiplied by x minus 3 equal to 0. So for us to solve for x, we apply the principle of zero products. If you know that if the product of terms is 0, then one or both of the factors has to be 0. So we set each factor equal to 0 and then solve each equation. So look here, if x plus 4 multiplied by x minus 3 equals to 0, you simply equate one of these brackets to 0, one at a time, of course. So in this case, x plus 4 is equal to 0, solving for x by taking x, the 4 to the other side. We'll subtract 4 from both sides, shall give us x equals to minus 4. So if x plus 4 is 0, it means x is equal to minus 4. Or x minus 3 equated to 0, subtract or add both sides, 3 to both sides of the equation, will give us the value of x equals to 3. So x is either minus 4 or 3. If you put back these values into the expression, you find that it collapses to 0. This is called the principle of zero products. And this is the basis for solving quadratic equations by factorization method, as we shall see in the coming examples. The principle of zero products. So if x plus 4 multiplied by x minus 3 equals to 0, it means that either x plus 4 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. So if x plus 4 equal to 0, then it means x is equal to minus 4. And if x minus 3 is equal to 0, then x is equal to 3, using the principle of zero products. Welcome, learners. So for a, in a, 5a squared plus 15a equal to 0. Right, so we begin by factorizing the left side of the equation. Here you see that there are terms that are common both to 5a squared and 15a. So 5a is common to both 5a squared and 15a. You take that out, then you shall have 5a open brackets a plus 3 close brackets, and this is equal to 0. Again, using the principle of zero products, means that either 5a is equal to 0 or a plus 3 equals to 0. So equating 5a to 0, 5a to 0, divide through by 5, then it means a is equal to 0. You put back 0 there, you get 5a reducing to 0. Or you equate a plus 3 to 0 and solve for a. So subtract both sides, 3 from both sides. You have x, a equals to minus 3. So for this particular equation, a is either 0 or a is equal to minus 3. Take note, the steps involved, we factorized the given expression and then he applied the principle of zero products. Principle of zero products states that if AB is equal to 0, then either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. So in this case, 5A multiplied by A plus 3 equals to 0 means that either 5A is equal to 0 or A plus 3 is equal to 0. So if 5a is assumed to be equal to 0, then solving for a will give us a equal to 0. Or a a plus 3 equal to 0, then you solve for a, you get a equals to minus 3. Welcome, learners. So in case you have questions relating to this, don't hesitate to send us a text message so that we can address the matter at hand together, or just leave a comment expressing your issue. We should be able to come back to you. It pleases us here at Black Slides to rectify anything that we might not have made right in the first place. Welcome, learners. So using the examples we've looked at, we would want you to factorize these quadratic expressions. So we have x squared plus 3x plus 2. Factorize this. X squared minus 6x plus 8. Find the factors of each of them. Kindly take a picture of your solutions and share the solutions to the numbers given to you earlier on. The occasions when you have this kind of problem, you have 4 here, you have a 9. So find two numbers which when you add will give you 12, and which when you multiply out will give you 36. 4 times 9 is 36. Similarly here, I think this is the same, a little bit of difference. For this one here we have a 4, there we have a 9. So 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. Find the numbers, two numbers which when you add will give you 12x, rather 12. And then when you multiply will give you a 36. 36 is 9 times 4. Here you find two numbers which when you add will give you 14, but when you multiply them out will give you 15. 5 times 3, like that. Find numbers which when you add will give you minus 14, but when you multiply you get 49. So kindly do this and share with me the responses. Just take a picture of your answers and send. This will help us to tell if we are moving together or not. Welcome, learners. So let's look at some examples relating to solving quadratic equations by factorization. Solving quadratic equations using factorization. Suppose we are asked to solve this equation for x. So x squared plus 16 equals to 10. So I'll take you through the steps that you must follow each time you are solving quadratic equations by factorization method. So write the equation, the first thing. Write the equation in the correct form. By correct form, we mean in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So in this case, we need to set the equation equal to 0. So I bring everything to the left-hand side with the terms written in a descending order. Descending order means in the order of the powers. So in this case, this expression will be, the equation will be written as x squared minus 10x plus 16, like this. So this is now in a general form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. Then factorize this expression. Use the factorization strategies to factor the problem. So to factorize this, you find two numbers which when you add them up will give you minus 10, but when you multiply them out you get 16. So the numbers are minus 2 and minus 8. If you take minus 2, add minus 8, you get minus 10. But when you multiply them out, minus 2 times minus 8, you get positive 16. Alright, so x minus 2 times x minus 8 equals to 0. You use the principle of zero product. So use the zero product property and set each factor containing a variable equal to 0. So you take minus x minus 2 equal to 0 and the x minus 2 equal to 0 and then x minus 8 equals to 0. Then solve each factor that was set to 0 by getting the x on one side and the answer to the other side, as simple as that. So in this case, x will be equal to 2 and or x is equal to 8. Just take the 8 that side. That's solving quadratic equations using factorization method. Welcome learners. In case you are not sure about what we are saying, don't hesitate to leave your comment or send us a text message to the phone to the number shared before. Let's appreciate another example. Solve 18x squared minus 3x equal to 6. So write the equation in the correct form. In this case, we take everything to the left-hand side. Shall have 18x squared minus 3x minus 6 equal to 0. There should not be numbers this side, just a 0. Remember, the general form of quadratic equations is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So the right-hand side must always have 0. And the terms to the left-hand side must be arranged in a descending order of powers. So this is power 2, then power 1, and then power 0 for x here. Right. Next, you factorize the given expression. If you look at this expression closely, you find that the 3 is common. You can factorize the 3 here. 3 can go into 18, 6x squared times. 3 can go into minus 3x, minus x. 3 can go into 6 2 times. So we have this as our factors. Then go ahead to factorize the expression in the brackets. In this case, we shall need to find two numbers which add up to 1, minus 1, and which when you multiply, you get minus 2. So eventually, after factorizing this, we shall produce an expression such as 3 open brackets, 3x minus 2 close brackets, open brackets, 2x plus 1 close brackets. Then use the product property, the zero product property or principle. You equate each of the brackets to 0 and solve for x. So equating 3x minus 2 to 0 and equating 2x plus 1 to 0 will give us x equals to 2 over 3 after dividing both sides by 3. Similarly here, 2x will be equal to minus 1. Dividing both sides by 2 give us x equals to minus half. Welcome, learners. Sometimes you may be faced with a problem like this. Whatever the case, write the equation in the correct form. You take everything to the left-hand side. So in this case, we need to set an equation equal to 0 with terms written in the descending order. Descending order means x to the power 2, then x to the power 0, 72 x to the power 0. Remember that any number raised to the power 0 is equal to 1. So this is the same as 72 x to the power 0. If you look at this expression, 2 is common. 2 can go into 50, it can also go into 72. Give us this. Then factorizing the resulting expression, this is the difference of two squares. So you have 525x squared. You break it down to give you 5x here, 5x there. 36 is 6 times 6, so you break it again into two parts. You have a positive 6 here and a negative 6 there. Then use the product property and set each factor containing a variable equal to 0. So 5x plus 6 is equal to 0, and 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. Solving for x in each case will give us x equals to minus 6 over 5, or x equals to 6 over 5. I hope we are moving together. Welcome, learners. So x open brackets 2x minus 1 equals to 0. Once again, write the equation in the correct form. In the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So the equation is going to look like this. So factorizing this will produce 2x minus 3 and x plus 1. Equating each of these to 0, 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, and solving for x will give us x equals to 3 over 2. Solving for x from here will give us x equals to minus 1. Welcome, learners. Invite your friends to join us so that they too can benefit from learning on black slides. If you have not subscribed already to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel so that every time we upload new material, you are informed on time. Okay, so before I leave you, I'd like to leave these questions with you to do. Solve each of the equations using factorization method. Once you complete the exercise, take a picture of your work and share to me into the number